Do I spend a year doing SEO? Or do I put all my money into paid ads? In this video, we're going to find out. It's a common question. Which do I use? Do I go down the path of SEO, that is spend a lot of time and a lot of money to become visible on Google so that I get sustained leads over time without doing anything else? Or do I put all my money in paid ads? Which is better for my business? The first thing we need to do is we need to break down some different categories. The categories I want to first cover are around paid ads. You see, not all paid ads are created equally. There are paid ads designed for search. You go to Google, you do a search, you see an advertisement. But there are also different types of paid ads for social and display. Social ads are ads that show up in your Facebook feed, in your LinkedIn feed, in Instagram, in the social channels where you spend your time. And they tend to show up there after you've encountered the brand before, or sometimes you're just discovering the brand there. The other type of paid ads are paid display ads. These are the banners, the images that show up on different websites you visit. And these also happen typically after you've encountered the brand. It's a reinforcement technique. So which do I use? Where do I spend my marketing dollars, especially today during crunch time? Well, let's first pair them. SEO and paid search are hand in hand. They work together. They're working to accomplish the same thing. That is, they exist to solve a problem for someone who has intent. Someone who goes to a search engine like Google or Bing and is searching for something very specific. You want them to find your brand. Well, how does that happen? With paid search, they find your brand because you ensure that the keywords and key phrases that they are targeting are what you are willing to pay for to be on the top listing. However, with SEO, it's a little different. With SEO, you're still targeting those same key phrases and phrases around that, but you're ensuring that you're showing up in the organic listings. Whether you pay for ads or not, you're going to show up. The thing is, one happens quickly and instantly. That is the paid ads. Once you get them going, they're happening. SEO takes a long time. It's a content strategy. It's an authoritative strategy. It's a strategy to get your website visible to Google and to Google visitors in an authoritative way. The best way when you're starting from the beginning is to get them to work together. You use a paid search strategy to learn which key phrases work best for you. Imagine if you were searching for trucking companies and somebody typed in trucking companies and you want to see a list of trucking companies. And say your trucking company does something a little different than other trucking companies. Would you want to learn that in the short term by running paid ads to see what type of customers are calling? Or would you like to take a long play to be visible for trucking companies only to find out maybe that's not the right key phrase? The paid ads, the paid search allows you to test different key phrases and determine what are people searching that convert to my ideal customer, client, or patient. If they're searching for hormone therapy and you get a call and they turn into a patient, that's great. But if they're searching for better health, better fitness, wellness, and they get to your site and that's not what you do, you use the paid search to guide you and to learn what is working best. Once you've learned what key phrases are working best, you keep running those paid search campaigns. But then you embark on your SEO effort. You think of this as a long-term effort, 6 months, 9 months, 18 months. Think of it as a long-term effort, targeting those key phrases that you know work, but by creating a content strategy and an inbound linking strategy around them, and then build that up. Eventually, you can start slowing down your paid search ads as your SEO, your organic search, works better and better. Now, no matter where you are on the journey of search, that is intent-based marketing, you still want to keep your brand in front of those that have encountered you through the other types of channels. And those are the paid social and paid display channels. So for example, if somebody arrives to your website and they got there either through paid search or they got there through organic search. The point is they've got there, they were interested, they arrived. You might have a paid social retargeting campaign that keeps your brand in front of them. You may even make it more precise. Based on the page where they landed on your website, the paid social ad matches the page where they were on your site. This way the things are working really tightly together. If you want to learn more about the specifics and expectations around running Facebook ads, click the link above. I did an entire video just around Facebook ads. But there's another way to use paid social. Paid social is a great tool for retargeting, but it can also be used to help people discover your brand. Identifying a certain demographic and psychographic profile, that is, who are the people that are interested in what you do. Once identified, you can then run ads in social channels to help them discover your brand. Once they've discovered your brand, they see something that interests them, they see something that makes them slow down just a little bit, maybe even click. Well, you've taken them back to the site, and then they can go back into a social retargeting campaign. So paid social works in two ways. One, retargeting, which is where it's at its strength, and two, where it's discovery of your brand to those that are most interested in seeing it, and working them together. So no matter how somebody got to the website, the social retargeting is always working, but their discovery component is all working as well in conjunction with that. Now lastly, paid display. That's like a billboard on the highway. You drive down the highway, you see the billboard, you encounter it, you see it continually. It builds and strengthens that brand in your mind. It's like a TV commercial. It builds and strengthens that brand in your mind. What this does really, really well is it does retargeting exceptionally well. What I mean by retargeting is when somebody goes and visits your website or a specific page on your site, any other site they go to that uses a display network of either square or vertical or horizontal banners, your banner can potentially end up on that site. It's kind of like why every time you go to Home Depot's website, you see those ads everywhere you go. Even if you go to WebMD, you'll see that Home Depot ad. That is the display network, and that is the retargeting. And that works very well as too. So when you're planning out your budget, and when you're thinking about, do I do SEO or do I do paid ads, break it down further. Think about who your target customer is. Are they an intent-based searcher? That means, are they actively looking for you? Well, if that's the case, if your ideal customer is the one that's actively looking for what it is that you do, you need to start with a combination of paid search and SEO and build off of that. Or is your ideal customer somebody that doesn't quite know about your brand or what you do, or even that you're beneficial to them? They need to discover you somehow. If it's a discovery type customer, well then you need to have paid social ads showing up in feeds continually to the people that are most likely to engage with you and be ideal customers, clients, or patients, because they're not searching for you. So SEO doesn't do you any good. They need to discover you. That's where the paid social comes in. And then you can stitch it all together that once they've encountered your brand, either through discovery or through intent or search, once they've found your brand, then you run through the display networks for your retargeting, and you run additionally through your social networks for retargeting. I hope this is helpful. I hope you have a better feel for when you use SEO versus paid ads and how they all are intended to work together and tie the pieces together. I'd love to hear how you're using all these together. Put that in the comments below. Of course, I always appreciate a like and share for these. And if you really like what you see, subscribe and click the bell.